Hi ladies, it's Janice here from New Zealand. It is a very, very sunny day over here, and I've been trying to block out light and get light so that I have a reasonable lighting. Yeah, anyway, I'm here and it's a bit shady with the light. So I'd just like to welcome you all here to the Facebook Live today. And just excuse, this is my normal bedroom. This is my third bedroom. It is my office. It usually has files all over the bed. I've tidied it up for us today, but I just can't find a place with great lighting today. So welcome everybody. Where are you from? Please write in the chat you are from, because it's lovely to have you here. No doubt you're not experiencing nice sunny weather like I'm experiencing here today. So whereabouts are you all from? Anyone going to let me know? We got a whiz of a day coming up. This session is got lots of fabulous things in it. I know that what I'm going to be sharing with you is a hot topic, and it's also something that I've been busy working on for 30 years. So if you know my story started when I found out I had low self-esteem when I was trying to be a good mum and teach my girls, and it was like, oh, okay, I got that. I'm the one with low self-esteem. And from then on, I realized I had the negative attitude, and I had to turn it around to positive attitude so that I could become a great role model for my daughters as well. So self-esteem, low self-esteem, negative attitude combine, and over the last few sessions that I've had with the Facebook Live, I've talked about relationships, and certainly there's negative attitude and the lose-lose. You know, it actually permeates right throughout our life. So today I've got some fabulous things that I'm going to share with you. So anyone going to tell me where they're from today? I'm from New Zealand. Where are you from? Haven't got anyone yet. Oh, right. Okay. So I've got Michelle, Deborah, Lisa, Gayen, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, and Shelby. So welcome ladies. I'm sure you're going to get lots of tips out of today. Now, as usual, I always have my notes. So I'm going to be talking about some of the things that you can do, what's happening, and yeah, a variety of things. Now, I say attitude, and as you know, I've got the success attitude, my little hat, but I've done my hair today. I don't want to mess it up. And that's about going on your journey until you find your solutions. Because the negative attitude is, you know, down. The positive attitude is your yes, and you're on track. The success attitude, the way that I see it, is just keeping on going until you get your solution. Hi, Adrian's joining us, so welcome. If anybody wants to put in where you're from, feel free to do so. So my book, of course, The Success Attitude, which is I was guided and nudged to do. I'm not sure if I got more wrinkles or less. I'm sure I'm more beautiful now. It is about that journey, that whole success attitude. So because I've had a very interesting life, unusual life, and it was keeping on going until I got the solutions. And I'll share a recent story as well today about that. And actually that's why I've called the movie that, because as we go globally with what's happening, lots of things are happening in the world that are kind of scary, and people are dropping into fear. And at the end of this, I'm going to give you something for that as well. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to give some poems, some quotes, some words of wisdom, some from me, some from other people that you will have heard from. A quiz, so get a pen and paper ready, because you know I'm into quizzes. I just don't like to just do the talking and you ladies not do any work. That's not being a good teacher, and that's what I am. So I'm going to give you something for the coronavirus at the end, and also a feel-good day that's going to be coming up tomorrow as well. So that's a fun day for us as well. So we've got Barbara here, and she's with us tonight, and I know Barbara's in Canada. So I'm assuming the rest of you are in the USA, but welcome, welcome. And as I say, my weather here is, as you can say, it's sunny. You can see it's sunny and warm. So those are the things I'm going to be including today. My intention is that when you leave here, you leave here with a new mindset. I mean, that's actually what coaching, training, teaching is all about, and that you're going to actually take some action, because the universe wants speed. And if you've heard of Dr. Joe Vitale, I've been to heaps of his courses, love him, love his work. And when we get a nudge to do something, we've got to do it quickly. Don't wait for 3 years or 2 years, or do it quickly, because the universe is giving us ideas. And he's just put out a new book about speed, and that means like keep moving ahead, keep doing things, keep doing bits and pieces. So it's about taking action, overcoming the fear, and fear is just a mindset, and we have to be able to change that. And I'll give you that affirmation at the end. Also, the intention is that I help to prompt you to move out of your comfort zone, because your comfort zone, you're going round and round here, too concerned about what other people would say, too worried about what happens if it goes wrong, to anything that you actually just are too scared to move, and you kind of just become static in your life, and then you get nowhere. And your dreams become elusive. And as they say, the best dreams in the world, the place where the most dreams are in the world, are in the graveyard. And they're in the graveyard because people didn't have the courage and confidence to be able to step up. So, yes, so we've got talking about momentum. Momentum, thank you, Barbara, is keeping us moving forward. And hello, Jill, as well. So, the other thing, the last thing my intention is today is that you actually start saying yes to you. Now, the most important person in your life is you. You've only got your fingerprint. Nobody else in the world's got it. Mine's a bit wacky. But your job is to be the best version of you. So what I'm going to do, while you get a piece of pen and paper, so because I'm going to give you a quiz, I told you so, I'm going to read out the attitude poem to you. So make sure you get up from where you are sitting if you want to go and get a pen and paper while I read this out to you. This was written by Charles Swindoll. I've used it for years, and all my workshops I give it away because it is so, so great. It says, attitude is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failure, than success, than what people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a home, a relationship. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude that we will embrace for the day. We can't change the past. We can't change the way that other people will act. We can't change the inevitable. The only thing that we can play on is the one thing that we have, and that's our attitude. So that's our mindset. And I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how we react to it. So, attitude. Life happens. That's the 10%. That 10% that's crappy is your learning curve. Because you were born here and you want to be up here, fulfilling your dreams. And everything that goes on the way is your learning curve. So the crappy things, that's the 10%. The 90% is deciding what you're going to do with them. Now, I'm going to share a story. I've been doing this work for 30 odd years, 30 plus. And so I'm pretty good at it, I'd say. I'm probably an expert. I've written a movie about it, and I've, all that sort of stuff. But with life, what happens is that we get sent, or we attract or send, or something happens in our life that knocks our thinking, changes our thinking, upsets our momentum, our equilibrium, the way we are living. And out of that, we've got to decide what we are going to learn, how we are going to move through it. Now, it may be that you're redundant. It may be that you're broken up with your partner. It may be that you've lost money. It may be anything that has happened in your life is an opportunity for you to learn. Any single thing. And those opportunities are tricky, challenging, but it's up to you to decide how quickly you will move through it. So last week I might have mentioned I had a pretty tricky, very different, unusual situation to to deal with. And it took me 3 days to come up with a solution. Thank you to the people that helped me. And then, what's today? Today is my Friday. So my Tuesday, which I went to my chiropractor, I'm doing that so that I'm keeping healthy, and told her what had happened, and she said, yeah, but I'm seeing 2 of you. So there was me, and because of what had happened, my kind of energy had split. And that was because of the situation that happened. And I must admit that I was shaking, and I don't normally cry very much. And I did feel out of sorts, but of course I didn't know. So when she told me that, and we had a little chat about how she was going to fix me, and she did. But then I needed a healer. And so from finding out what the problem was at 10 o'clock in the morning, by probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, I had a healer booked to go and visit the next day. Now, why am I saying that? Because my positive attitude is, I hate feeling awful. I hate feeling, it does not feel nice to feel not okay. And when I'm looking for a solution, I want to get it fixed, sorted, done, and move on in life. And so for all of you, when you've had something happen, if you wallow around in what's happening down here and have a negative attitude about it, it can flick over to other areas of your life, and you can stay there. You can stay there for the rest of your life. You can stay there for a week, a month, a year. It's actually up to you. But the quicker you can find the solution for yourself and fix it, the quicker you're going to be able to move on to the next stage in your life. Because a negative attitude would have had me, negative attitude, I would have been where I was 30 years ago. I might be a little way up the scale. So for you and your attitude, which is the 90%, 10% something's happened to you, you've lost your job, your relationship, your partner, your money, kids are left home, you're depressed, all sorts of things that you don't know where you're going, you haven't got your purpose in life. All that happens now. The 90% is, what are you going to do about it? And so that's what we're looking for. So embracing my healing, my solution happened really quickly. And that's the success attitude. That's the positive attitude. And that's what you've got to do. Now, the universe will send you answers. For those of you that believe in the universe, write yes in the comment box. Who believes there's a universe? There's lots of stuff happening. Let's see. We've got a yes. Yeah. Anybody believe in the universe? Anybody believe in divine masters? Anybody believe in God? Anybody believe in that there is something bigger than us in the world? Now, if you follow Oprah, you'll know that she does. If you follow Louise Hay, you'll know that she does. If you follow Marianne Williamson, you know that she does. Tony Robbins, Chicken Soup for the Soul, Jack Canfield. So all of these people know that there is something bigger than us. They've been on that journey to learn that. And you yourself may have had some situations where you think, oh my God, how did that answer come to me? How did I get that? Or why do I feel like I want to do that? And part of that is the universe guiding you. Now, and it's even like, so why were you on? Thank you. Yes, we've got some others that have said yes. Thanks, Jill. Yes, it is. It is there. And it's up to you. And hello, Donna, who's just joined us. It's up to you to listen to the messages, the nudges, the books, the stories, the song, the coming on this page to be able to take you higher towards your dream. Now, God, divine, whatever your higher intelligence, whatever you want to call it, wants you to be successful. You're down on earth to learn to be successful. It's your choice. So what you've got to do is listen and take actions, and that's what we're looking at. So for my story, just what I'm going to flip back to the things I learned, let go of stuff. Okay, it's been and gone now. I've let go. What have I learned? I've learned lots of things. What I've also learned by letting it go, I've made a space for new things to come into my life. And that's what you need, a space so you can get some new things. It's like your wardrobe is full of clothes and shoes and there's a big mess, or your closet's full or your fridge is full, and you want to go shopping and there's no room to put anything. So unless you clean out your fridge, your shelves, or your wardrobe, stuff's going to filter out on the floor and you're going to be messy and in a mess, and every time you look for something, you're going to get flustered and stressed. So for you to be able to move forward, you've got to let go of the stuff and create a space. And that new space that you've got in your life is the positive thinking, the positive attitude, because now you've got a new mindset and a new paradigm of thinking. So what you're wanting to do is raise your level of thinking all the time to what is the thing that I need to learn now to take me to the next place that I want in life. Your dreams, hello, Diane's just joined us as well. Your dreams aren't just going to materialize like that. What will happen is you will get an idea, you will be inspired, and as I think I was listening to Joe was talking, Dr. Joe Vitale, I've done some of his courses, love his work, and you'll be given an idea. Now, you got choice A, choice B, negative attitude, I'm too scared, I'm too fearful, I'm not going to do anything, and you stay back where you are. Positive attitude, I'm going to do that, I'm going to follow on with it. And your choice, because you've got free will, is deciding what you want to do. Make sense? Does anyone resonate with that? Has anyone got a situation where that's happened to you? Because it's all in this mindset. It's all the beliefs from when we were children. Our parents, everyone in our life has done the best that they can. But now you're an adult, and if your life isn't giving you delivering what you want, the question I'm asking you is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep blaming your parents? Are you going to be stuck in fear? Because now it's your decision to be able to do something. Nobody can do it except yourself. So earlier, I asked you to get a pen and paper, and if you've got that, I want you to write down the word that resonates with you as we go through this level of consciousness. Now, I've had this up on our website page. Oops, it's there so that you guys can see it. So that's on the page, my Facebook page. Oops, I'm trying to get it straight. Well, it's a bit tricky. The reason that's so important is because right down the bottom here, which you're not going to be able to read the words, and I've got to go backwards, is where a lot of you are right down here, vibrating at a lower level of consciousness, where I was 30 years ago. Now, right down here, it's shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear. So that's the lower level of consciousness of thinking. Now, you want to be able to manifest your dreams with the law of attraction and to be able to move up here. Now, I'm pretty well up here most of the time, and when something happens, I dip down and come back again. But you've got to go on that journey. So we talked about the first ones. Now, you're just moving upwards. We're sort of part way up here. We're at desire. A desire is you deciding what your dreams are, or knowing your purpose, or being ready to move forward. That is a desire, that you want to move forward. And then moving up from that, some of the things, there's anger. It may be anger from things that have happened in the past, where you've got to let that go. It happened. I learned that. I've learned that lesson. I'm not going to do it again. I learned a lesson the other day. I'm not going to do it again. And then you start to sort of think, okay, so out of those things in my life, I learned such and such. I learned I don't want a relationship like that. I learned I don't like that job. I learned whatever it is going to be for you. Hello, Paula. Paula's joined us a wee while ago. And then it's like, okay, it's actually being proud of yourself. It's like, I've learned these things. That's why we go to school, to learn how to read and write so we can get a job. So, but in life, we've got no school. Life is one big school. So moving up the scale, you're going up from pride, and then you're going up to courage, because now you're ready to do something different. So your attitude is starting to change. Remember, down here, you're negative and caught in fear. And then as you go up here, because that's what you're doing, you're raising your vibration, you're raising your thinking, you're raising the way that you look at the world, and you're starting to move up forward. So then we've got courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance. And that can be acceptance of a lot of things. But it's also understanding that when you're ready, the teacher will appear. And that's Confucius says that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So if we look at that you're being guided and there's a universe, or there's a God, well, there is a universe and you believe there's a God, and I know there is because they chinwag to me, then it's understanding they are helping you move forward. As we go up, it's reason, love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. So when I see what some of you ladies have put on there is what you're looking for, and your answers, you know, what you're looking for. You are down here, you're wanting to be up here. And so that's the journey that you have to undertake. Nobody, not one single person. So we've got to think it's Gilda that's just joined us. So after that little presentation where you can see where you are, I want you to write down these numbers again. Now, we did this last week on a piece of paper. So 1 to 10, either across the page or 1 to 10 down the page, whichever way you like. Because I told you I'm a teacher. I always give everyone quizzes to do, otherwise I'm not doing my job. I always used to tell my students that, and I'm telling you ladies too. This is the only way that you can, because you can put this next to your bed, you can put this on your fridge, and you can see exactly where you are yourself. So if somebody hasn't got a pen and paper, I'll just give one little example while somebody goes and gets it for you. Gets it so that I can answer those questions. So make sure you've written that down, okay? That for me, and I can only talk about myself. So when I was down here, it was, you know, 95% was negative thinking, negative attitude. As I went up, it was learning how to be positive and thinking. And then up here, I'm probably at 98%, 99% most of the time positive thinking. Most certainly when I had what happened the other day, I've had 10 days of challenges. It's dropped down, but I've picked it back up again. And I'm still working on it. But it's like you've got to pull yourself up because nobody else is going to do it for you. And so your job then is to work out what you are going to do to get yourself up there. So we've got the quiz ready. I'm going to ask 2 questions, ladies. The first question, you are going to put a circle around the number that resonates with you. The second question, you're going to put a square around the number that resonates for you. Now, to do this quiz properly, you must put the pen or pencil in the opposite hand that you write with. The opposite hand, I'll explain at the end why you're doing this. Now, what we're looking for is when I say a number, you might get, a ping in your head, a feeling that that's the right number, or you might just know that's your number. And that number there, for the first question, you circle, and the second question, you square. So, you ready? For those of you that had this last week, you know where you're going, but I've got a different question for you today. So, starting with the first question where you're going to put a circle. What is your present level of positive attitude? Or what is your present level of attitude? Let's go for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 is low, 10 is high. What is your present level of attitude? Do a circle. The second question that I want you to put a square around, where would you like your attitude to be? As 1 is high, 1 is low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10 is high. So you should have 2 different numbers. Everybody has 2 different numbers. I don't know that I've ever had anybody that had the same number on this. What we're looking for is your present level of attitude now and where you want to be. Generally, people have 2 different answers. Now, if anyone wants to put their answers down in there, hi Kelly, Kelly's just joined us. What it is that when I've asked you to put the pen in the opposite hand that you write with, I've got your left hand analytical part of your brain busy working out how do you do a circle with the opposite hand, because you can do it easily with your normal hand, but when you're writing with the opposite hand, it's very tricky, and your brain has to concentrate on that. So when I ask that question, your brain's busy working out how to do that. Meanwhile, from within you, your inner soul, your spirit, your guide, whatever you want to call it, your intuition, I don't mind what you call it, as long as you know it's here. From your inner spirit comes your answer, your real answer. And that's what we're looking for. So let's see. Okay, so we've got a 7 and a 10. A negative background, so she's come a long way. Thank you very much. So that's what we're looking at, your journey that you've got to undertake. So I've got to say, for mine 30 years ago, 1 probably, now 10. That was the journey that I've undertaken. So it's how quickly you want to create your dream life. Because here's my little, I've got this thing here. See this? Anyone can read it? Dreams can come true. The reason it's a can, because you've got to do the work. It's not just going to happen. You've got to move out of your comfort zone. You've got to learn. And I know when I started this journey, I mean, I was in a parenting course, and I've done thousands and thousands of hours of learning to be able to teach this, to go into corporates, to write a movie about it, to be able to teach it. I'm very, very confident that I can teach people this, because I've spent years and years learning and teaching it as well. So you've got to decide where you are and where you want to be. And you've actually got to decide, do you want to make your dreams come true? Do you really? Really? And if it's yes, if you gave yourself a yes, then you've got to do the work. Somebody on the page was talking about wanting to do something but didn't have the money and didn't have this and didn't know how it was going to happen. You may have heard of Eckhart Tolle. He's talking about living in the present. The only thing you've got control of this very second is listening to me. You can turn me off if you want to. I've got a different accent. Or you can continue on and learning. So you've only got control of this nanosecond. So when you're going towards your dreams, it's about following the journey and learning to have faith and trust in yourself and the universe that things were going to be able to come along. You know, if you've studied, if you've got a job, if you've had a house, if you've already achieved a lot of things, and it's about embracing that whole concept again. Because remember, attitude, 10% what happens to us, and the 10% is the shitty, crappy stuff that we don't like. It's the bullying, it's the broken relationship, it's everything. It's the low self-esteem, it's the depression, it's all of that stuff. And what we've got to learn from it is how to move out of it. And that's the 90% that you've got control over. So you've got free will. You don't have to do it. You can stay where you are. But my question to you is, how happy are you? You know, it took me 30 years. Do you want to, if you've got 30 years of your life to stay in a negative attitude and not start to fulfill your dreams? Or do you want to do it quicker than that? You know, I intend to live for another 30 years. Now, boy, my dreams I keep on adding stuff to them. So in the end, it's your choice about what you are going to do. And nobody else can do it for you. Now, what will happen, the people in your life will want you to stay as they are. The things that you do that are bad habits are easier to stay as they are. But for you to move towards your dreams, then you've got to make the effort, because the habits are the things that are going to change your life. So even for me, going to a healer yesterday, I'm going to change my diet again. But for me to be healthier and healthier and strong, I want to be strong, because I've kind of had a bit of a chill, that's what we've got to do. So what I want to share with you is, you think about whether you want to change your attitude or not, because it's all in the mindset. It's all about letting go of negativity and embracing positivity. So I want to share with you something. Now, this was an interview I did quite a few years ago. It was with the Inspiration show, and this lady contacted me, and I'm sharing it because she took quick action. So she said, I was inspired to call Janice when I saw her being interviewed on the Inspiration show from the USA. So some of you may even watch that. It was like a light bulb moment for me. I knew I had to contact her. I'd been searching for something or someone to help me with self-love, self-esteem, and confidence for some time. And something inside me, so an inner spirit of guide, knew that she was the one that would help me. I worked with Janice for 6 months, and it was an amazing ride. I discovered and rediscovered my confidence and my love, not only for life, but for herself. And then thank you, and helping her on the journey. Now, the funny thing was that I was being interviewed up here in just north of Auckland for a show that was showing in the US. When she contacted me, she just lived about an hour away. So we would meet. I usually like to meet every 2 weeks, but she wanted it more, so we would meet weekly. And for 6 months, and she turned her life around. So what had happened, she'd been mum at home for quite a few years. She'd lost her confidence. Her husband was away a lot working in their business. And so she just lost the confidence to be outside of the comfort zone of her own home, her ladies that she went to kindy and places like that with. So we were able to turn that whole thing around. She took positive action quick, and she changed her life. So for you, that's why I offer success strategy calls. Now, out of it, what you get is a tip to say, yes, I have got a dream, or I don't know what my dream is, or, you get an idea of what you want. And I think I've actually put the link up at the top there. And then we look at the biggest challenge. So this lady's challenge was self-love, self-esteem, and confidence. So that's what we talked about in the last Facebook Live. If you haven't seen that, scroll down my page and find it. Because her attitude was positive, she wanted a solution, and she took action. And that's how life works. She moved forward. So not taking action, you go round and round and round in circles. So has anybody got any questions about what we've done just now? Or anybody want to share their attitude and where it is and where they want to go? Okay. Right. So we've got the fact that attitude is a mindset. Negative attitude keeps you down here. Positive attitude means you're stepping up towards your goal. And it's a never-ending stepping up. Even though I've been doing it for 30 years, more goals are coming, and it's still stepping up. So for you, it's doing things like quotes and books and reading and learning. And learning is the best thing. And I remember years ago, my daughter said she was bored. So for anybody that is bored, it's because you need to learn something new, because your brain is just going round and round in circles. So when we look at people like Tony Robbins and Jack Canfield, they're all teaching steps. Basically, behind every teacher is the same sort of learning, education. And it's all educating people to become their best, to make their dreams come true. Because everyone has got different journeys, and it's a belief system, but it's for every single person that's up here. And how do you change that to be able to move forward? Kathy just joined us a wee while ago, so welcome, Kathy. So moving on. So success strategy call, if you are ready for it, it's you deciding your goals, you defining your biggest challenge, and then the tips. So what we've got happening around the world right now, I'm going on to a slightly different angle, because when the whole world, let's find out here, when the whole world is thinking negative, and we're going down here right now, people are starting to think negative, and they're thinking negative about the coronavirus, then people get together and they talk about it. It's on Facebook, and there's all the things that are happening. It's and people all the way around the world. And it's a bit like the AIDS, years ago. But, it affected the world, and it still is. And I was watching Rocket Man again last night with Elton John, and he's donated $450 million to help with the AIDS throughout the world. So what's happening now is this coronavirus. Now, there's a lady that I follow, and she's way up here, way, way, way up here, from South Africa. And I'm going to read it out to you, because you can write this down if you want, because it is an affirmation that you can use that will make you feel better and stronger and move out of being in fear of the virus, if you are, because they're saying it's going around the world in all sorts of places. But what she says is the biggest challenge that we seem to be facing is the coronavirus, that it is causing anxiety and fear. So right down the bottom of that level of consciousness. So it's a fear of pandemic across the planet. My guidance is that we should not fall into fear, but remain calm and stay in our sacred heart place. So that's, obviously feeling good. This is a post that she made on Facebook recently. The media is stirring up anxiety and fear and creating hysteria. Please do not allow yourself to be caught up in this. Know that you are protected and loved by the divine light and the angelic hosts. Take reasonable precautions and stay calm and centered. Know that if you become fearful and anxious, this undermines your immune system. Ladies, I've been there. I've been a single mum, business owner, doing everything at once, hence changing my diet, so I'm not. So going back to the quote. So it is important to stay calm and peaceful. Take the time to do breathing exercises that calm your nervous system. Do visualizations that you are surrounded by light and angels. Do affirmations daily, such as my body is strong and healthy. That's actually a good one for me as well, because that's what I'm working on. So connect with higher vibrations, angel and guides, to keep yourself clear and your frequency high, which is your energy levels as well. Because there is, and you'll see on Facebook, a lot of fear. And you can read all those and you get scared, or I skim through them. I roll straight over them. I know it's there. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm doing the best I can, and that's what you need to do the best you can to stay in a good place for you, because you're the only person that you've got control over. It's sad what's happening, but it is happening, but there's nothing that immediately you can do or anyone else can do. The main thing is that you start looking after yourself. So Celia Fenn channels Archangel Michael. So whether you believe in that or not, I do, because I've had experiences. So we're getting guidance from people that can help us to stay centered and on track. So what I want to just finish up on, a couple of bits and pieces. So get your pen and paper out. Another little quiz. I'm going to ask you one question this time. Okay. So the question that I'm asking you now is, for all of you, who wants the world to become a better place to live in? So who wants the world to become a better place to live in? It's either a yes or a me or a no. So I'm assuming, does anybody want to write the answer up? I'm making an assumption that you all got a positive attitude. Said yes. Got any yeses coming up? I'm going to assume that you want the world to become a better place. So if there's 20 million people around the world, thank you, Barbara. Tracy's joined us. If there's people around the world that want the world to become a better place, and you are one of them, then you plus the other rest of the 20 million, because otherwise I'll get the number wrong, 19,900,000, whatever, are going to be making a difference to what's happening in the world. And the way that you do that is to stay positive and do the things that you need to do in your life around you to make your life positive, and to think positive and to take positive action and make the world a better place. Because if you and I and all the light workers around the world, we know that it's a time that we've got this happening, we've got other things happening in the world. We are teachers. And we know that our work is to help people. You know, this is my calling, because I know some of you have said you don't know what your purpose is. This is mine, to help empower women. And so for you, it's like, okay, if you want to be one of those 20 million, or there might be 50 million, it's up to you to make some choices and take some action, because that's the only way that we're going to do that. If we don't, the world becomes a very unhappy place. So let's all make the effort. And I'm going to give you something to make the effort. So has anybody got any questions? Because I've got one more thing I'm going to share with you. Anyone want to share anything? Okay, so remember, choice A, choice B, positive or negative. Your job is to work out where you want to go. You've done a quiz, you know where you are. You know you're down at the lower levels and you want to move up, so you've got to take some action. That's the only thing that will change your life. I know. I've been doing this for 30 years. And just my last situation, I had to take action. I took it very quickly because I know what to do. So that's what I teach it. That's why I teach it. That's what my Positively You program is about. I teach people to get on track, to change their thinking, to say words, to create new boundaries so that they can make their dreams come true. It's my calling. So we're going to do it tomorrow. Now, today is the 28th of February here in New Zealand. Tomorrow is the 29th. And for those of you that know what's happening, 29th is February is leap year. And so normally what leap year is about is that it's an opportunity for women to propose. So I did some research on this, and they can propose every 4 years because the men take too long. And then it was started in Ireland, so that's the Irish sense of humour, went to Scotland. Scotland made a ruling about it, that if the men were proposed to and they said no, then they were fined, and they were fined things like a set of gloves or a set of stockings, or, you know, there was just something, you know, I mean, this is, and this was back in the 13th century, 1288, I think it was. So today there's lots of us that are single and we're out living our life. Okay, we've got a question, how to stay happy. And I'll give that to you in a moment. It aligns with this. So to stay happy is to do things that you really enjoy, to do things that you like. And so it's discovering, you know, the things, if you're doing things in your life that you don't like and aren't making you happy now, just don't do them again. If you're eating McDonald's and feels like crap, don't eat McDonald's. Go and buy some healthy food. If you are with people who don't make you happy, don't be with them. Go and find positive people. If you are in a job that you don't like, decide what you want in a new job and learn the skills to get there. So you may have to go back to school. You may have to learn new skills. So it's like all the things that don't make you happy, you let go. You've already learned that. Now, you may not know what makes you happy, but for example, if it's McDonald's, you don't know, except you want, if you like spaghetti bolognese or pizza or Mexican food or whatever, but you just want healthy food. So that's a starting point. So you're looking at all the different areas in your life and you're going the opposite way. Because if you're unhealthy and you want to feel better, stop being unhealthy. Get out go for a walk. You know, watch positive videos. Do things that are going to make you feel happy. Part of that there is that you've got to define what happiness is for you, because everyone happiness is different. So I like Elton John music. He's been here in New Zealand. We've had Queen, Adam Lambert and Queen here playing. I like their music. You know, that music makes me happy. I put on Bob Seger the other day and I thought, oh, no, it's not really my music. So I don't listen to Bob Seger because that's not my music. So that's how you decide how you're going to be happy. Hope that gives you some clues, that lady that asks that. And anyone else, ask a question. So tomorrow, 29th Feb, leap year, we can propose if we've got somebody we want to propose to. Well, that's questionable, isn't it? So instead of that, I've decided, actually I was nudged to do this. Now, when I say nudged, I keep forgetting clairvoyant and all those sorts of things. So they do contact me directly, hence I'm doing my work. I've got this calling to teach ladies to be empowered. I was nudged to create this fun day. So what the fun day is tomorrow, and I'll be putting it up on our page, is an Appreciate Men Day. Now, we can't propose, so let's appreciate men. Now, by the men, I mean people like, and I've written it down here, father, brother, partner, friend, son, boss, teacher, singer, a song that you like. You know, I could say Elton John. I'm going to use Demis Roussos because I love his song. He's a Greek singer. He's passed away, but I love his singing. It's quite high pitched, but it's beautiful. Or an author. It might be that you've read a book, you know, for example, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Oh, somebody's going to propose to a husband of 44 years. Yes, you can do that. You can do this and tell it what it'll be like. But what we're doing is we're wanting to appreciate people. Now, and because it's let's make fun. Let's have some fun. So tomorrow I'm going to put this on. Hold on. There it is there. It's going to be up on my Facebook page. Now, a couple of things about that. First of all, it's fun. Fun makes us feel good. So if you're wanting to be happy, you do this. Okay? Now, the reason you do this, now, HeartMath Institute in the USA have been doing research on this and for years, and 20 years ago, and I've been using it in my workshops as well, they've monitored that when we appreciate somebody, our heartbeat is better. So just as an example, when we're stressed, our heartbeat is very much up and down like that. And it's not so healthy for us. When we give a compliment and we appreciate, our heartbeat, and it's all on the research, you can go into HeartMath online, goes in a very much loopy sort of, you know, rolly hill sort of, and that is a much better feeling for ourselves. It is much better for our body. And we feel good. So that's one of the reasons that we've started this Appreciate Men Day. So it's wanting to feel good for you, and doing it in a fun way is another way of feeling good, because it's just a bit of fun. Circulating it out on the internet, because again, the more people that do it, the more people that feel good. And remember, I was talking about the 20 million people. If we've got 20 people, other people doing it, that's 20 people that are feeling good that weren't feeling good before. And bit by bit, we're making the world a better place. So it's on tomorrow for me. And I'm going to put on my dad, because my dad, love my dad, he's not with us anymore, but taught us heaps. But he also taught me love for the sea, and I'm a sailor. I paddle in it. I have to be on it. I see it. I'm a bit mad, really, but that's what I love. I'm going to put Demis Roussos, because I love his song, Because I Love You. I actually put that up on the page as well. And I'm going to put my ex-husband. Now, you may be wondering why my ex-husband. He was the ex that bullied me, that I didn't know that I was being bullied, because I did not have the skills to fix it. When I did, I moved on. But I'm going to put him and appreciate him, because he was the father of my two beautiful daughters. So we've now switched this to appreciating that he's the father of my daughters. So when we're looking at appreciation and feeling good and being positive, we are making our bodies better, feel good, and feel raise our heartbeat. Even Jack Canfield, I just saw a video. Jack Canfield is Chicken Soup for the Soul gentleman. He was the founder of the International Self-Esteem Council, and I was the president of that. He's talking about appreciation. Now, the other thing about appreciation and connecting that to your positive attitude, if you are wanting to manifest something and you're wanting to manifest these things here, your dreams, and if you're wanting to move up this scale, wherever the scale's gone, somewhere, if you're wanting to move up there to manifest your dream and use the law of attraction, then by appreciating and also gratitude, which is the same sort of thing, and Oprah talks a lot about gratitude, being grateful, then you are in a very different vibration and a feeling about yourself in life, and things are going to start being attracted to you. The universe will send you things. That's law. That's actually how it works. But you've got to go up that scale, learn, get on track, and make yourself feel good and feel happy. So there's a whole lot of things that are kind of combining so that things will manifest for you. But you've got to learn how to be up there and be positive 24/7, basically. It's tricky, but it's possible. I know because I've done it, and a lot of other people are doing it as well. So, ladies, I hope that has helped you out with some ideas about negative and positive attitude. If you are ready to say yes to you, yes, I actually do want to make my dreams come true. Let's have a chat, because we will find out what your dream is. We'll talk about your biggest challenge, and I'll give you some tips and ideas, because it's all up here. It's all up here for all of us, and this is what we change. So we can do it one step at a time. So click the link if you want to make an appointment. Do this tomorrow on the page. Well, it'll be your leap day, whatever day that is for you, 2 days' time. Re-listen to the live and take the tips in that again. Share this as well. When you see it, share it with your friends and family. It's a fun thing to do, and that's exactly why we're doing it, because when we do it, it makes us feel good. So if anybody has any questions, thank you. Somebody said excellent info. Thank you. Yeah, and I like teaching. I like helping people, and my job is to uplift myself and everyone else, and that's been channeled to me directly. So, and that what also been channeled, I'm reading on the wall, I've got this calling. So what do I need to do it? Because if we don't have a positive attitude, you miss out on money. You don't get the promotion. You don't get the love that you want, because you get into negative relationships. You don't have good health. You don't have, all the things you're unhappy, and you're vibrating down here at another lower level, and you want to be up here. So if there's a question that you've got, private message me or put on the Facebook page, and I can answer it on there. The more questions that we have, the better it is, because one thing I've learned is if somebody has a question, somebody else has the same question as well. So thank you, ladies. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Tracy, thank you for great information. The link is at the top of the post. Yes, it is at the top of the post. Sorry about that, but yes, it is. I'll also put it on Facebook again, and I'll put those things that I remembered that I've talked about. And thank you for coming. Look forward to hearing from you, and have a fun leap day appreciating people. Thanks for listening, everybody.